The hype is real, so join me for today's patch note review. This is patch 1.13.0b. Hello, and welcome back to Int+1 channel. This is Carl, and today we have a brand new patch 1.13.0b, and this is a big deal. I guess the B stands for big deal. Actually, it doesn't stand for big deal. I don't know what that stands for. Guess it's a minor revision. These are the patch notes for July 6, 2017, and I can't remember if I said it, but my name is Carl. Welcome to the channel. So, wow, get hype. Doomfist hype is real. We got a little bit of a teaser, not yesterday, but the day before on Tuesday. And people did not think that this was going to be going live to PTR so soon. Not a lot of people anyway. I didn't think so, right? I thought they were going to wait another week or draw it out a little bit. Looks like Blizzard kind of learned from that Sombra ARG. And even still, I actually thought that Orisa came out rather quickly after being sort of teased at. So, really get hype. We're going to go over these patch notes. So, please note below that the patch notes only include changes currently available for testing on the PTR. While many of these changes will also be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in a future patch, the PTR is PC only and therefore will only reflect changes coming specifically to that platform. Alright, patch highlights. New hero, Doomfist. Equipped with charisma and ambition, Doomfist is a consummate tactician and one of the leaders of Talon, literally throwing down his gauntlet as he joins the fight. From his base in Nigeria, Doomfist is a commanding offense hero equipped with hard-hitting melee abilities, driven by a belief that conflict is essential to humanity's progress. He's committed to advancing his vision of the future, even if the agents of Overwatch disagree with his methods. Doomfist's cybernetics make him a highly mobile, powerful frontline fighter. His primary attack is the hand cannon. This 4-shot weapon fires projectiles from Doomfist's knuckles one at a time or in a single blast. So, dual fire there, that's cool. With his secondary attack, Rocket Punch, he charges forward and delivers a devastating blow, knocking back any opponent it connects with and dealing extra damage if the enemy is hurled into a wall. And actually, I feel like they kind of teased at that with the OR 15 or 14 units. I guess they're OR 15 units in the airport in Numbani. You can clearly see them actually embedded into the wall when you are in, I believe it's the attacker's spawn. So, it's really cool that, you know, they kind of teased at it. And, you know, we always kind of knew that Orisa was leading up to Doomfist, or at least that was the distinct impression that I got. Alright, Seismic Slam smashes into a targeted area, knocking opponents toward him so he can deal further damage. I guess maybe conceptually like a Roadhog hook. I'm going to actually splice in some footage into this video, assuming I can get onto the PTR servers. We'll see. But if so, we'll get a chance to see these in the video momentarily. For me, I'm just going to kind of go through the rest of the patch notes, but I'll jump to the gameplay if I get a chance to get in. His rising uppercut tosses enemies high into the air, while his passive ability, the best defense ... grants him shields every time he uses one of his abilities against an opponent. Lastly, his ultimate ability, Meteor Strike, causes him to leap high and drop into a targeted area, dealing massive amounts of damage. To learn more about Doomfist, click there. So, let's jump to that footage if I got it. Boom. Alright, now, moving on to the loot box updates. We always want the experience of opening a loot box to feel exciting and rewarding. And in our latest patch, we're working to improve that experience in two key ways. First, we're drastically reducing the amount of duplicates you'll receive when you're opening loot boxes. Second, to compensate for the reduction of duplicate items, we're also increasing the overall amount of credits you'll receive from loot boxes. On average, you should be earning just as many credits, if not slightly more, from loot boxes as you did prior to these changes. And I actually talked about this change in the last video. I'm kind of guessing that a lot of this is going to share. This patch is going to actually also include information from the 1.3.0 update. I guess that's why it's 1.13.0.b. This update. So actually, some of this might be a little bit redundant. I'm excited about those loot box changes. I know that they address a lot of community complaints, especially when it comes to events, because we know that the next event, unless Blizzard pulls something just out of the corner, right? The next event is going to be Summer Games. Looking forward to that, actually, because I did not get a chance to play Lucio Ball, unless it's not going to be Lucio Ball, but I kind of think they're going to recycle that. I suspect they're going to. All right, to help us test this event, all players who log onto the PTR this patch cycle will receive 5 PTR loot boxes. Those are loot boxes exclusive to the PTR. You won't be able to keep them. It's just sort of a way to see how the new loot box system is kind of going to roll out items. These are standard loot boxes that will only be available on the PTR. Any items earned from loot boxes or unlocked via credits on the PTR will not transfer over to your live account. And again, just like in patch 1.13.0, the new highlight options. Our highlight system has received several major updates. The game will continue to automatically generate highlights for you based on your recent gameplay. These auto-generated highlights, now categorized as today's top 5, will be surfaced on a daily basis and persist for a full 24 hours or until the game client is patched, whichever happens first. Players can now generate their own highlights. The ability to capture 12 seconds of your own gameplay has been added to the game and can be bound to a single button of your choice or a button per highlight slot in the options menu under Request Highlight. These player-generated highlights will be saved under a new section called Recently Captured and will persist until the game client is patched. Players can have up to 36 recently captured highlights stored at one time. With the above, players can now record any of their top 5 or recently captured highlights, exporting them as a video file to their gaming platform's designated media library on console or directory on PC. Players will also have the option to select the quality at which these highlights are exported, supporting up to 4K at 60 FPS for Windows 8 or higher operating systems and up to 1080p on Windows 7. And so it's kind of like a background rendering process. I mean, because ultimately all it needs to create these files is your positional data and when you're firing and all that, and it basically just reconstructs it and exports it out as a video. It's a very cool feature. Again, I talked about this a lot on the last patch note. It doesn't look like anything really major has changed there. So I might actually be kind of going through these rather quickly. Luckily, there's not a lot. So, custom games and game browser. Clarified the text on the flag carrier options under the capture the flag settings for custom games. Remove the projectile speed and projectile gravity options for heroes who don't have projectile weapons. Presumably, I was about to call him Doomfist. Wow. We got Doomfist on the brain. No, talking about Reinhardt though. All right. User interface added the ability to create customized reticles. I talked a lot about this again the last patch note video. The patch notes from June 22nd. So feel free to check that out. But basically, you have the options for custom reticles, or vernacularly, I guess they're the crosshairs, right? They're the part that you aim at people with. So that's really cool. I can see a lot of utility for that for characters like Junkrat or Pharah or anyone who has sort of long distance fall off in terms of the way that their projectile moves. Okay, heroes. Wait. I skipped around a lot, didn't I? Competitive play. Yeah, okay. Bug fixes. General. Fixed an issue preventing best in-game stats from being updated. Fixed a bug that could cause the user interface to incorrectly indicate that an enemy player has been hit when colliding with them. Fixed a bug that could allow projectiles that would normally pierce shields to pass through other surfaces. And fixed a bug that caused some players to lose audio during the match. And actually, I don't know if I talked about this, but there has been a persistent audio bug in live since the Horizon Lunar Colony update went. So every now and then, for instance, you'll hear things that sound distorted, muffled, or even almost at different frequencies, because those bells on Dorado that you can kind of play the Futurama theme. I noticed they were almost like a full octave down. I think I did talk about this. There's also been a couple times where Hanzo's ultimate ability, it was like lower, like instead of he was like his voice lines seem to be okay, but some sound effects are distorted, and some people have actually reported like almost completely lost audio, almost like you're outside on the moon on Horizon Lunar Colony. So I'm glad that they are attempting to address that, right? Okay, let's see here. Competitive play. Fixed a bug that caused players to get a lever penalty during off-season matches, even after the in-game banner advised it was safe to leave the match. That's unfortunate. Something that I do think needs to be addressed, though, and I'm glad that Blizzard is bringing lever penalties and has been for a while, but something I am not satisfied with is random disconnects resulting in a negative 50 competitive point gain. So you're losing 50 competitive points if you get disconnected and still reconnect to the session. Okay, that actually does not feel fundamentally fair. I'm not even really sure that I'm on board with the reasoning as for why that is a thing, but I don't think it should be a thing. I think it should be like an unthing. So please consider changing that, because a lot of honest players are getting frustrated with competitive because of this. And then on top of that, you know, on top of already having a kind of a crappy experience because you got dropped, you're losing SR. And at that point, there's almost no penalty for staying left, you know, for continuing to leave and not rejoining. So please reconsider that. That is a problem, and that does affect the quality of competitive play. And that is something that is fundamentally important to the future of this game, okay? So custom games and game browser. Fixed a bug that prevented players from joining custom games as a player when the number of spectator slots was set to 12. Fixed a bug that removed the healing dealt modifier for Mei, Reaper, and Roadhog in custom game settings. Heroes. Let's see what we got for heroes. Fixed a bug that caused Pilot Diva to be visible in the mecha cockpit before the call mech entrance animation played. I actually saw this on Reddit. But yeah, there was basically like a duplicate Diva model. And Diva actually functions as two separate characters. Blizzard has actually frequently stated that she's kind of the most complex character in that regard. So when she's leaving mech, it's kind of like it despawns one character and respawns her as another character. And then so too, when she calls her mech, it actually despawns her and just spawns the actual mech. So I guess it makes sense, right, for that placeholder to be there. You know, I bet what they did is they just like shrunk it down and then it just gets to full size or something as soon as she goes in. That's probably how I would handle it, right? It's a little hand wavy, but those kind of tricks are all over the industry, honestly. Fixed a bug that would cause eliminations from Junkrat's Total Mayhem to be mislabeled in the kill feed. Fixed a bug that triggered Junkrat's ultimate callout even when he was unable to actually use his ultimate. I have not heard that before. I have seen some interesting glitches with Junkrat's ultimate, though, basically as a way to kind of put him out of danger when he ults, and it looks like that might still be an active exploit, and I'm unsure if that is still the case. Fixed a bug that allowed Roadhog's chain hook to latch onto Orisa's supercharger. I wonder if it actually pulled it back. That'd be kind of fun. Fixed a bug that allowed Sombra to take damage after activating her translocator. That was in the 1.13.0 patch. That is something the community's talked about for a very long time, and I'm actually quite glad to see that is being fixed. All right, so let's talk about maps. Fixed a bug that prevented Soldier 76 from placing his biotic field in certain locations on Eichenwald's first point. I have actually not seen that glitch. But I'm glad they fixed it, because that's an important part of his kit. That's a huge boon to his survivability. All right, fixed a bug that caused AI-controlled players to perpetually move forward, or move toward the objective on the Gardens point in Oasis. I mean, shouldn't they always perpetually move to? Oh, maybe they're hitting walls or something. Some kind of a pathfinding kit fix. I'm not sure. All right, fixed a bug that prevented training bots from facing the right direction and returning to their original locations after being moved by player interactions on the practice range. And actually, on the subject of the practice range, people have been bringing it up, but because there's such a variety of the types of heroes, People have been suggesting things from, hey, there should be flying bots on the practice range, to maybe there should be shielded bots. Maybe that maybe there needs to be something a little bit deeper in the bot system that allows you to have practice with certain types of moving targets or targets that receive less damage, either through armor or shields, whether they're deployable or whether they're health shields, the shields that are actually part of your health pool. So I would actually like to see Blizzard revisit the practice range. It's pretty much been the same since the game has been available, and I think it's due for an update. Okay. Fixed a bug that was causing unusual camera angles for highlight intros on Route 66. You'd see this sometimes where it would just show like nothing and then people are dying in the distance. And we're not talking about your Torbjorn's dead and his turret's killing things. It was pretty bizarre, so I'm glad to see that they're fixing that. Fixed a bug that would cause D.Va to fall through the floor while boosting into the ground in a specific area on Volsky Industries. Didn't experience that, but I don't play D.Va. I follow D.Va all around all the time as Mercy, but I don't play D.Va. All right. Last category, user interface. Hey, fixed a bug that caused the Heroes of the Storm promotional portraits to appear locked even after being unlocked. Fixed a bug that could cause an error message in chat if you attempted to spectate a new player while already spectating another player. And they fixed a bug that could cause the chat window to be placed too high on the main menu, blocking menu options. I have experienced that. I'm glad that they are fixing that. Also, they fixed a bug that prevented text from wrapping in the report player text box. I've never used it, but I'm sure many of you out there have. And you know what, with that said, this is kind of a shorter patch note video, but that is because I am about to jump in and I am about to play, right? I am about to play because I want to get a chance to get my hands on Doomfist. And that video is going to get spliced into this. You're going to get a chance to check it out. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like it. If you didn't enjoy this video, you thought it was terrible, go ahead and dislike it. If you have any comments, go ahead and comment with me, right? I want to talk to you about Overwatch. I love Overwatch. It is a great game. And also, hey, if you have not subscribed, well, we here at N+1 channel have 175 subscribers. 25 more, we hit 200. Okay, that's like a milestone for me, right? Like that first 100 is just beautiful, and then you hit 200. I don't know, like fireworks go off, right? In this past 4th of July or whatever. But please do that subscribing thing. I'll keep doing the video thing, and hey, let's keep doing the thing. I'll see you next time. Later.